So much for not taking sides. With Edward Snowden still at large, Russian President Vladimir Putin is making the case the U.S. has trapped Snowden in his country. RT reports Putin told a group of students U.S. officials scared other countries. No one wants to accept him. According to Deutsche Welle, Putin joked Snowden was like an unwanted Christmas gift from the U.S. as his arrival came as a complete surprise. What was originally intended as merely a stopover point for Snowden has been his home for the past few weeks. He's believed to be holed up in a Moscow airport weighing his options. Last week, Snowden met with international human rights activists, announcing in a press conference he'd be seeking temporary asylum in Russia. The irony isn't lost on a writer for the New York Times who says, naturally, neither Snowden nor the dozen people taking dictation had any reason to mention the fact that Russia routinely taps into its own citizens' phones, conducts round-the-clock surveillance of opposition activists, and periodically releases hidden camera footage of them in the most private of settings. Putin hasn't said outright whether he'd grant Snowden's asylum request, though many observers say it's likely he will. Since the U.S. revoked Snowden's passport, the Obama administration has been pressing Russia to hand over the former NSA contractor, straining an already tense relationship between the former Cold War foes. If Russia doesn't grant Snowden asylum, his travel options elsewhere are limited. Getting to Latin America could be tricky, with European nations likely to close their airspace to any flight with him on board. To avoid Europe would take a 7,000-mile flight, a trip that could be both technically challenging and incredibly expensive. But one way, an aviation expert tells Fox News, Snowden better start learning Russian and liking the taste of vodka, because he's not going anywhere anytime soon. A glimmer of good news for the fugitive: a Swedish sociology professor has reportedly nominated Snowden for a Nobel Peace Prize. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn.